Hello traders, good morning. I hope you're all well. Welcome to the live advanced bookmap webinar. Today we're joined by JTrader, a professional trader that focuses on stocks. This live session is part of our education here at Bookmap. These are held every Wednesday at 10 AM Eastern Time. Usually Bruce hosts these, but as he's away this week, I'll be covering. Before we jump into the live analysis with JTrader, there's just a few things to take care of. If you guys could bear with me for a moment. First of all, we've got JTrader's contact information. If you want to reach out to him, you can find more on his website, Jtraderco. You can also connect with him on Twitter at Jtraderco. And the disclosures here, guys. All Bookmap Ltd materials, information and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation demo paper trading mode and is strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Trading futures, equities and digital currencies involves a substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, over to you, Joseph.
All right, so let me know, Sam, if you can see my monitor.
Yep, I'll one moment. Okay. I see you. You're good.
All right, so good morning, everybody. Small caps is really on fire, so I will start from that today. Despite the setups that we had on Meta, AMZN, Netflix. Remember also today we have Tesla earnings after hours. So as I said, small caps are running. We have over here some of the setups, some of the stocks, small caps of today, DRCT, and we're going to soon review this on Bookmap. We have SDIG, both are day one plays, so gappers of today. We have APLD is a day three. We have over here also TBLT. So this is a recent gapper. Okay, we traded this a couple of times in the past days. And we have also a few other, I would say, lower volume gappers. So let's look at DRCT, what we have today and what the stock is. So let's put overview. We have a micro float. So whenever traders were trading a stock with a very low float, and you can see over here a 5-minute chart, be very careful because you can have flow rotation, and then this can be a good long, a good mover, a good runner. Around 30 million volume traded right now. We have a low institutional ownership. We have no SSR. Also, let's take one moment over here to see what they're doing. Full service programmatic advertising platforms focus on providing advertising technology. Over here we can see the news. So basically they're saying about their earnings over here. So we can read about this. And also I want to double check if they have history of gap. So in the past they had 2 gap days for an average extension of 35%. So this is likes already to extend from the gate. Average 5-day time 11:16, 1 day close red, 1 day close green. So above the open green, of course, below the open red. So 35%, 36% average extension. So this is already an edge that tells us the stock likes to extend. So let's view over here the open, 9:30. Let's calculate over here 35%. So the average of here of extension would be around 340, okay, this area over here. Okay, we can put a line to say that's the average of extension possible that we had in the past. Now, this morning we opened 930 and gave right away a big push, breaking this previous high, 267, pushing over here to the first resistance at 3, and then to this 320. This is a very high volume stock because remember, traders, this gapped around 920, 925. At the gate, we can see that it found support around 250s. You see over here, they tried to sell, but there was some absorption on these dips over here, this 255. Pretty good, right? And then we had this consolidation between 255 and 270. Breakout, another dip into I would say, some liquidity over here, demand, another dip over here, another push to the $3. So we had the lateral sideways area, dipped again over here to the 280, and then again breakout and push to 320. Now it's basically doing this lateral. Okay, so we had a low, a lower high, a higher low, a lower high, a higher low. So it's doing a wedge or what we can see descending triangle with this base and with this resistance trend line. So DRCT right now, if you look also at the chart, so let's go back. What I'm looking is only a short into a daily resistance area. And what is the main daily resistance area here? We have this level 364 and this level over here 335. So those are the two levels that I'm looking to short, and I will be shorting only with the precise pattern. So trend line break rejection, a stuffing area, and seeing over here, for example, on Bookmap, use amount of sellers. At the same time, we can have a long. So let's see if we can have a retracement, ideally into the J lines, start to curl back up, and then taking a long position. For now, you can see trader that is basically trapping both short and longs. Over here, we had a fake washout below 280. So this was a nice over here bear trap. So they trapped over here. Well, actually, it's not only they're trapped shorts, and then they reclaimed, but they also over here triggered this level. So the break of this level to trap over here also longs and make them stop out. So you will see that when a stock is highly manipulated, and ideally we have a small float, so a float that generally is below 10 million, you're going to experience often these patterns. So you will see, for example, fake breakdowns. Often you will see fake breakouts, and you will see the price always staying inside an area. You have to wait extremes to trade it and wait for those daily levels, or if we're going to take the J-lines, longs at these patterns over here. SDIG is another small cap of this morning. And as I said this morning, the only over here A+ setup that we have is the one that has to happen. Why? What do I mean by that? We have to wait for a perfect pattern to long on the J lines. We have to look for or late day fade. We have to look for a parabolic move. We have to look for the blow up of the stock. The stock is trading 47 million. It's a first day gapper. So like we've seen before, this is no A+ setup to short right now. Okay. So let's see some stats of SDIG. We have a 20 million float, 46% institutional ownership. This is a stock that is a sympathy of BTC, okay, of Bitcoin. So it's a blockchain stock and has no, I would say, individual news, all right? It's a sympathy. So because Bitcoin and the overall market bounced, and we can see over here, for example, Bitcoin going to that 24,000, all right? We have at the same time all the market moving up. So getting to this, I've seen some stuff this morning, and the levels that we are watching were these. But at the same time, we saw buyers at this area. So in the level 290s, you can see down here where we really actually stopped, right, our downtrend or unwind. And up here, you can see sellers, 315, 310 is the level. They were removed over here. Look, those buyers, and now it's trying to push up. So daily level that I'm watching in this case is this 330. We have a daily resistance at this level. And then more, we're going to look for ideally this 375. We can look if we have other levels on the 4 hours, for example. But again, don't try to front size short one of these, because it will simply will simply kill you. So those are the two other levels of resistance. Over here, we have another one. So we can continue to watch this, traders. High volume. Look at those bars down here. Good morning, Brother G, and everybody else, also on YouTube. This layer, right? Still a lot of buyers on this stock, a lot of buyers. If we try to front size short something like SDIG, well, remember yesterday, actually not CDU, but APLD, this. So this is APLD yesterday. And you can see that it ran stuff, curl over here. This point over here was already after hours, and it still ran over here to around 260. This morning I had double plan on this one. So I had or a short to those pre-market highs, after hours highs around 260, 270. I said, don't look for a short earlier than that. And also we had a long setup over here for an under-over. So two main setups this morning. Right now, this is extending. Again, until we don't have, again, a 3-hour fake out or the daily level, there's no A+ setup short. This is on the 1-minute chart. So you can see the dip over here into the J-lines this morning started to curl in main push. We're going to review also after Meta, which we had a long setup this morning. Is giving another long setup right now. We're going to review the A+ setup on AMZN, going to the first target right now, 121.60. No Tesla setup this morning. Remember, we have earnings today. Netflix over here had earnings and filled this morning. Now it's bouncing back up from previous day close. But I want to stay with some of these small cap runners. Very interesting to trade. Right now, if I'm looking at this chart, I see a lot of, you can put also the delta, right? So I invite you traders to put the delta because you'll see a lot of shorts trapped in area 310 over here. Right now, what I'm using on my Bookmap is the COB, so current order book, And then also this is the current order book, but I put over here the aggregate and extend. Okay, so aggregate. That's the reason why you see the sum of all. This is the cumulative volume. As we were saying, now is strong. Don't try to short SDIG. Let it go. Okay, let it go over here. Only look for longing these dips.
I've got a question, JTrader, on that note.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about like strong trending days, which we're in, and yesterday on Bitcoin as well. How do you identify these kind of strong days? Is it part of your morning routine to kind of look at what type of market we're in today, and how do you adjust your trading accordingly? You said no front side shorting.
Yes, yes. So just to look over here, what I did honestly this morning. First of all, I placed my morning routine over here. So basically, really what I'm doing, checking the news, the scan, the stats, the charts. And the preparation this morning was to have a double plan. So a main scenario for long and short for ES, NVIDIA, AMD, Meta, AMZN. And then when I see that one of the two plans is working, I'm going to focus on one or two or maximum 3 plays at the same time. For example, this morning I had Meta. There was Meta, what I was looking for, or calls or puts, AMZN for calls or puts. We had this setup of Meta. We had this setup over here on AMZN, and this setup, for example, AMD. And there was no short setup. So of course, I'm going to focus on calls 90, calls 185, calls 120 over here. We're going to discuss, for example, after Meta, and we're going to see really the two parts over here that we had. So the two main long plays. This week, I'm not taking trades. I took a resting week because I'm mentoring a few traders and following close one-on-one. So no trades to share. But if you look at Meta this morning, I want to share over here this. So this is the play that we had on Meta. We can zoom out, right? So we can see that we had a first main long pattern yesterday, second one today, so trendline break and then a perfect pattern, and timing confirmation over here of the setup with Bookmap. How? I'm gonna show you. All right. So the setup that we had over here this morning was exactly over here. Pattern, looking too long. And then in the second part over here, and this I didn't call because I was jumping over here on the Bookmap webinar. Another trendline break and first pattern to long, second pattern to long. Same example we had over here. Over here, so nice flag over here, pennant flag. We can see breakout, then reversal over here. So lost some steam over here, consolidation to the dips. And over here, buyers coming up again. So this was being fueled. Also, let's check ES. We can see over here holding the dips. Around 10:15, buyers came. They say over here, you can see that we had a reclaim of the VWAP and push, and then move to upside. Same thing, for example, on AMZN. Actually, even better is price action. This was a perfect move over here from the gate. We had over here the plan to long with calls 120. So we are looking at these calls over here. This is the long bar at the gate. Main soak at the gate over here. Right away, a reversal. So that dip that you see over here is this unwind to the 118 and 20, 118 and 30. Then over here, they reestablish a trend to the upside, 118 and 80 to 119. That's the long area, risking this dip. And over here, we can see that we push the upside, comes back over here, 118 and 90, and then starts to uptrend pretty strong. So let's go back to APLD, which is now it's basing over here into a support. So we're going to look for setups on APLD, SDIG, DRCT, Meta and Amazon are already set up, so just need to hold if somebody's following the strategy, the system. So we have a support over here around 258, 260, which is the previous resistance. This morning over here we had the resistance. Now this is support, 260. So let's see if we can have a consolidation at this area and then ideally look into long. We said before the RCT has a micro float, low institutional ownership. Let's double check also with the friends over here of the dilution tracker, the RCT. So micro float, very small amount of cash, warrants a recent IPO of 550. So only at higher prices. Trying actually to bounce over here without any long consolidation. So only a washout dip to the 260. More buying pressure over here. You can see dots are starting to push. Let's filter. Let's filter this at 1000. So we're filtering the times and sales to see executions over here, orders filled only above 1000 shares. We have a bull flag over here. So let's see if volume comes in. It's gonna go what 276, and then next target over here into the 285, 290. Potential long setup traders, if we start curling over here and we're gonna break this 274, 275, we're gonna see if they're gonna put more volume. Still early. We need to see a break of this level over here, this 275. So the longer the consolidation now, the better. Go back to SDIG. Doing the same thing. So dip over here into the J lines. Remember yesterday, all day long, we had the same exact pattern on APLD, on CDU, and it worked extremely good. So let's see if we can have some consolidation on the support $3. If we have consolidation, if you start seeing over here a decent amount of support also on the liquidity on Bookmap, we can start taking the long. Still not time over here to get long because we didn't consolidate enough. We need a long pattern, longer pattern over here to take a long. So another dip on APLD that was bought back up. Not looking to short Meta, not looking to short AMZN. Stay with the trend. So look what ES is doing. this is what this mate over here, this setup is what I'm looking for example on APLD. For now, we have no sign for this setup to form. What we saw mate over here was a fake breakdown, so a fake washout and then pushed upside. Now a stop also over here to this area, 179.60. The A plus setup this morning, we had it in the first hour, this 950. Same for AMZN. Good strong momentum over here traders on AMZN. You can see beautiful pattern. So trend break, dip into the support previous resistance, and then main push to the upside over here. So really strong breakout. This is a fantastic pattern here. A long setup over here at 309, 310 on SDIG. This is a long pattern. First level of resistance over here, 318. Good momentum trader still on SDIG. You can see there's still not a backside of the move, still uptrending, lower volume for now versus 30 minutes ago. Also long pattern traders on WKHS. can see blue dots is how I set over here my my buys. So this is like bidders over here. They're trying to push this up to the pre-market high. You can see over here again the buyers. So nice setups for long. Now let's see if they're going to break the 364. Volume is still there, so decent amount of volume. Let's see the stat on WKHS. So we had 13 gaps in the past, 8 close below the open, average high of day time 1010. We're talking about a technology company, 157 million float, high percent of short float or short interest. You can see this calling both ways, almost 30%, institutional 31%. Over here you can see news, okay? Commitment from USPS. I think they had already a similar news over here in the past. Let's check the daily levels. So we have a fib level over here at 375. And more resistant definitely into this 4 area. So the next level is 375 and then $4 area. Or this pre-market high. So J-line curl, push. Stuffing into this level. So over here, they stalled the volume. You can see right now, they were bidding. We got over here to the 356, 357, lacking momentum. So there's a stall in the momentum. No bidders of it anymore. So once we see no bidders, start looking at the support, because if we start seeing over here some sellers, it can drop. So start looking at this 353, 354 area. Again, no buyers over here. So careful because this could wash instantly. So I've long over here in this position. Below 353, 354, this could easily wash. So they're trying over here to soak. You can see 36,000. This level over here, 356. SDIG, watching over here, possible unwind. Nice resistance in the 323. So remember before we said we had a long setup over here. First target 317, 318. Now they stall over here 320. So possible unwind again till the 310. And there we are, sellers in. So possible unwind to this 308 now, 310. It's not a setup, just explain in case took the long, knowing the system that we trade over here. So buying the dips, you're selling partial to this pop over here. We are looking right now at WKHS. Remember what we said, fail of that 53, 54, no more main support. This could unwind. Amazon still pushing, still strong. Don't fight the trend. Let it go. I often see traders that only because we have some main liquidity above, they're shorting. Doesn't mean anything. I mean, you could be long over here and you want to short, or you want to sell, and you're going to put an order out, for example, 123. Look, this push in the high liquidity area. So you can see 123, they're attacking over here. Let's filter this minimum size, 1,000 shares. You want to see only some blocks passing. You're buying 97, 99. Meaning great trend this morning on Amazon. Really great trend. And breakout over here. Remember what we said before? We have the resistance breakout. This is a nice cup pattern. We have a Jim Slim over here. So at just the top, could be just below or just above a Zim Slim, so narrow type consolidation, and then break and strong move over here. Let's go back, traders, on APLD. Remember, day 3, long consolidation came, another breakout over here, slowly pushing with lower volume. What we said, we're going to look for a long, ideally, or a parabolic move, or a main daily level. So main daily level over here, we have a resistance around 330, 330, 335. The second option for short could be a push into $3, seeing sellers over here at 3, using that heat map for a low risk entry, even sizing over here with having 2 or 3 cents risk, and then looking for a possible unwind. Volume, so they're gonna probably look for that 290 and then $3. $25, you can see over here, buyers coming in. Again, 285, 286, 287. Remember what we said before. We're looking for this consolidation. The longer, the better. The longer, the better over here. WKS, KHS becoming interesting over here on the stuffing. So this level over here is becoming a good short, exactly over here, 355, 354. In this case, we have a stock below the pre-market high. So the levels that I looking to attack would be this 356, 357, 355, or 365 over here. Each one would have a tight stop, so level of stop, and then if short over here, 5 cents above. No main big players for now, so no main big buyers. It's 11 o'clock, so lowering the size at this time, not anymore an A+ setup. And tight risk. Meanwhile, SDIG washout, long setup again. So again, we're traders to the J lines, just like before. Okay, just like before, washout, and then they're starting to push. One of the setup that I see the most in this market, small consolidation on the supports, and then pushing. Mate over here still holding strong from early morning. One setup, second setup over here. Amazon waiting 121 and 50s for a possible long entry. WKHS over here, we still have that resistance 360. So as I said before, this area over here, 357, 356, it's a low risk area to enter. Risking that 360. Again, lower size, volume is minimal, 25K. So it's just grinding until we won't have a blow up. So when it blows up, could be 365 or higher. Then on that fake out, you want to add big size. Always small starter before. Now it's pushing. Again, volume is low. Some burst over here in volume right now. Let's see the pre-market high. But you know, daily chart, we have resistance 375 and then at 4. Also pre-market high resistance over here, 365. So often one of the setups they will do will be this. If this doesn't happen, then let's look for 375. APLD still continue to hold over here the 90 MA. Watching for this micro support. If we fail over here to 84, this could wash again to the J lines. A plus setup this time? No, absolutely not. Dip into this 283. And wash over here to 279. But you can see the structure is still over here holding. Now breaking the trend line, 279. New low, 278, 277. Meanwhile, another push on SDIG. Again, only look for those daily levels or parabolic move or buy the dips. For example, today, yesterday, buying the dips work much better. Strong volume over here on SDIG. New support traders, you can see 336. So they're trying over here to push it more. Before we're looking for daily levels. And again, next one is 360, then 380. So simply staying comfortable over here. Unless you're long, no A plus setup. Remove this liquidity around 335. So and then they're bringing this up back again. So they're trying again to push above this 340. This is a really strong structure. So it's dig, SDIG, small cap, long from the J lines. Pattern over here. Remember, we're looking at 5 minutes. Work pretty good in two situations. APLD. Again, J lines over here and push the upside. WKHS came from the J lines over here, pushed again, long setup, pushed to the pre-market high, some rejection. AMZN back over here to the J line. So watching right now for a possible long. So here, first long setup into this liquidity area, 151 and 50. Wash out long. Let's see if we can have another curl. I'm trying to consolidate over here around the 121 and 90. Dollar came in, and now we're at the 121 and 60. So still with the same plan over here to look for a possible consolidation and then really look for a long. I'm watching ES. ES right now is not really bouncing. Is at 39.67. watching right now this level over here. Often they will trigger these stuffs and then unwind it. So let's look for possible move over here above 340 and then reversal. That would be the only setup to trade over here. Otherwise, we're still long from down here. They're trying to prop. You see the 334 support. So they're holding over here. Yes, big dump. So waiting on Meta and waiting on Amazon over here. Look over here, they're trying to prop it again. Let's look for this previous side, 340s.
I have a question here from Arash.
Sure.
Wants to know what are the moving averages. I think he's referring to your J lines there.
Yeah, so these are proprietary indicators, J lines. And you can see in some of the videos that I use how I use, for example, the first one, of course, the entire system and strategy is explained only in the room. But this is coded from expansion number Fibonacci. This is just a 7289. So it comes from the code Fibonacci. And then over here, of course, these J lines together with the setup have a very high win rate. And or say they make part of the system that I trade right now. The system I've been trading for the past 20 or almost 22 years. I explained the last podcast with Casey Stubb, mostly on big caps futures, and now in the last 6 years also on the small caps like stocks like SDIG right now. So let's look over here, 340 push. Let's see if they have the pull down over here. So you're still trying to hold the 337. So they're actually pretty strong over here. You can see buyers. Now look this level of here, 336, because this will be the end of that, possibly. You can see push up and down. So that 336 is the main level over here, which divide again a reclaim to the upside or a fill over here to ideally the J line is at 320. Until we are below, this is with a target around 320, 322. So what we were saying before, traders often what they will do, they will try to have these push. Often you will see a blow up of volume, which we don't have over here. Okay. And often these will be much faster in the dump. Over here, we have somebody that is basically holding every single dip. So they have over here an agenda. Other questions, Sams?
There's no more questions for the moment.
Okay.
Maybe
so
we
we got almost.
I mean,
Tell me.
I've got a question. Again, it's kind of related to what I said earlier. Like these trending markets, I personally always actually struggle with a strong trending day because you obviously you don't want to short it, but you don't want to buy the top either. So I think how do you kind of play them? You're just patient and wait for your setup, wait for a pullback.
Yes. So for example, this is an hourly chart on ES. We have our main break over here of this. If you look over here, we have a main over here. We say channel or wedge, but we're breaking essentially. And this morning, this was the pre-market support. So we don't go really break it. We're starting to push. And what happens over here? We're having this trend line break. Okay, so uptrend line break. Over here, we can see in the watch list what I was looking at. I was looking to short if I had FFT or a J-line curl up long, which is actually what we had. Looking at the shorter time frame, we can see the trend line break this morning. So over here, we have 930. We start rejecting it. And then over here, we start seeing like a curl. Curl, perfect. And then push to the upside. So each bar over here, this is the first bar of the breakout, so pretty strong around 1020. Second bar, higher low, higher low, higher low. Now what we'll do, we'll wait for a possible pullback and then seeing a consolidation. If we can see a consolidation, pull to the upside. The same thing happened on yesterday. So yesterday we had our trend line break. Over here was dip around 830, then dip it open to buy, 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 buy. So for example, all of these levels over here that you see the arrows, we had levels to buy, and that's the strong uptrend. So I'm not really buying over here breakouts. I want to see buying over here, but I will wait for those dips. In this case, this level, this level, this level. So you can see how perfect the J-lines work over here. And I'm looking to enter in the direction of the main trend. Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense, Sam?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you. And Co-op in chat, he agrees. He also kind of struggles with strong trending days. It's strange. Like it's counterintuitive. You would think a trending day would be easier to trade, but I think because it's maybe rarer, it doesn't happen so often. Like a strong trending day, we have like less practice with it, and you're not used to it, and you keep trying to. Well, I sometimes just spend a whole day shorting and then look back on the day and it's just trended upwards, and I was thinking, what was I doing all day? I should have just gone long and let it run, but it's
faster. You know, they say it comes down like twice faster than how it goes up. It's actually so true. I mean, I like to short. In the last 5-6 months, we had mostly shorts, even on the big caps. Some of the best setups I took were Tesla shorts or Tesla puts. Last week I took 4-time Tesla, 4 times. 4 and 4 wins was. And this week still I didn't take a short setup on Tesla. And I'm still waiting. Today we're going to have earnings, for example. So I'm waiting. No trade for me this week, as I said. But of course, if we will have some setup, will be tomorrow or today after the earnings. What I like about the trading days is always the pullback. So being that we trade a short or a long, never enter in the breakdown or breakout because often they can be fake outs. So for example, like we were seeing before on AMZN, we're waiting for that breakout, but of course we don't want to enter on the break over here. We want to enter after on a pullback. So looking at this day over here when we open 9:30 and then looking to buy those dips from a precise system. The point is, if you have a precise system, you can also buy very good over here on the dips. Dip coming over here, you can see the arrows getting formed, and dips came over here this morning, and then setup came in. All right, 11:30, Sam. I think we're pretty done for the day.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, so again, thank you everybody for being over here. Give us a thumbs up. This is from Bookmap, from me, JTrader. So we're doing this every week, and tomorrow will be another guest. I think Pulsini, right? Scott.
Yep, Scott's actually away tomorrow, but and I think Bruce is away all week, so we'll be back again with Joseph on next Wednesday, I believe.
Okay. So thank you very much, traders, for being over here with us today. Thank you, Sam. Great host. See you again next week. Take care and reach out if you have questions. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Joseph, and thank you, guys. See you next week.